And we look now at race number 6. It is back on the turf for this race, and it's over the 1600 metres. Oscar Glory at the top has the visor off, blinkers on for the first time. Dear Sibling is on the class drop and back in distance to the 1600 metres. Chingy's gone the other way, 1400 up to 1600. Flying Mojito and Mark 10 both wear cheek pieces for the first time. One Heart One draws a gate. Ezra has his first start since November. General Ace has the cheek pieces on, and Dragon Pride Nick will wear blinkers once again.
He certainly will. Let's take a look at the speed map. Possibly good to slow here. Oscar Glory might well be the one that takes it up. He is drawn well in 2, but there isn't too many in the way of speedsters in this race. Ching, I think, given the bad luck that he's had in a couple of starts, they might try and just keep him out of trouble and get a bit more prominent in the run. Mission Bravo, now he can go forward, he's drawn wide, they might just do that, but he's been terribly out of form, so he's on the turf for the first time in a long time. And Flying Mojito, Tom, another horse in form, will be fancied here, and with Zach going on, I think with the notable slower pace predicted, I don't think he'll take any chances.
No, he shouldn't be too far away from them here. Oscar Glory does like to lead. Poon's on board. Mission Bravo may be an alternate leader if they wanted to do that with him from barrier 12. And Mighty Star actually led up last time out, going back to the 6th of November, but he is eligible for Class 5 off a rating of 40.
And that's the boys' look at the speed map for race number 6, but we're going to start with just an unlucky horse, Tom. Here's Ching running 3rd last time. He is way overdue.
Yeah, and he had to be, in the end, flushed out 3 wide from sort of the 650 last time out. He also cast a front plate this occasion too, did Ching. So, look, he's got every chance here, Nick, to try and get one on the board. I didn't think this was a real deep race when it comes to the field for this Class 4.
No, I tend to agree, Tom. I think you could probably count the number of strong chances on one hand, possibly. But look, he's going up in trip. As Mark touched upon, he's been unlucky, hasn't he? So, yeah, hopefully he can get a bit of the rub of the green, and he might well be good enough to win.
And that is Ching. We move on, Nick, to our second replay. Flying Mojito, good last time. He started at big odds in this race. He was supported into 14, but he was almost double that at one stage. Dragon Pride loves the mile, and One Heart One was a little bit unlucky in the straight in this.
Yeah, he's the horse I quite like in this. He was desperately unlucky. Look at him further back in the light orange colours. He doesn't get much of a run, this horse. Stop there, and then he'll get stopped again in the straight, but he does run on really nicely. So he's certainly an eye-catcher. As for Flying Mojito, he's improving with racing. Cheek pieces on. Champion jockeys going on as well, so there's enough to like.
Yeah, I don't mind Dragon Pride as well. He's a 4-time winner as Dragon Pride, just one of them in this great course and distance. He's been good as last couple. And Turquoise Alpha, he was a bit unlucky last time out there in the straight as well. He's got barrier number 11. He's only a little chap.
Thank you, Paul. We move on now to the trials, Tom, and Mark 10. This was over 1600 around Sha Tin.
Yeah, it was. Now, I thought this horse improved in a recent barrier trial. This was the horse that took out about 3 or 4 coming off the back straight. One of them was Daring Pursuit. He's come out and since won. He wasn't shoved along in the 1600 metre barrier trial. Cheek pieces are on. I think he's slowly improving. He
could be the improver, couldn't he? I mean, he's going to be a decent price, I fancy, as well, unless there's a bit of money for him. But look, he's not been asked too many questions in that trial, and you know, hopefully, just with natural progression and the cheek pieces going on, he can take a step forward.
And that's Jumbo Legend, who ran at Happy Valley on Wednesday night, just beaten over the 1650, running 3rd in that trial. Who are you with here, Tom?
I've liked Dragon Pride, his last couple of runs. Mark, so I'll stick with him. He'll come up hopefully in each way price there at 13 and 3.1, because he has been good his last couple behind Accelerando and also Coming Patch. He's on top ahead of Ching, who gets an opportunity again. Flying Mojito was well supported last start and came up just short, and Turquoise Alpha was also held up for their barrier 11 for De Souza. 11, 5, 6 and 3.
Yeah, this looks sort of the epitome of a wide open Class 4, this one. Obviously there are those that do stand out, but it wouldn't shock if something popped up at a price. But for me, it's the eye-catcher out of that race we just saw, One Heart One. I thought his run was full of merit and can be upgraded, given that he got stopped a couple of times in the straight. So we'll put the 8 on top. Flying Mojito in for second. He looks to be progressing well, only just touched off behind Coming Patch last time out. Ching goes in for obvious reasons. He has been unlucky and should run his race here. And I put Ezra in at a decent enough price. He's off a very competitive looking handicap mark nowadays, and conditions should suit him. 8, 6, 5 and 9.
Flying Mojito's come up the early favourite for this race at 3.3 for Zach Purton and, of course, his trainer, David Hall.